You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. Governor Greg Abbott in Amarillo this week talking about parents' rights in their children's education. The governor saying earlier this week at the conservative Texas Public Policy Foundation he wants to use state money to help families subsidize private school tuition. It's all part of his plan for education savings accounts. He told parents when he was in Amarillo he believes there is no one better to choose how a child is educated than their parents, saying Texas schools are for education, not indoctrination. Experts predict some version of school choice will pass this legislative session in Texas. Legislation is making its way through the Texas House that would rename a portion of Farm to Market Road 40 in Lubbock County in honor of some local music legends. The original Maines Brothers band started in the 1950s and the second generation still performs today. State Rep Dustin Burrows filed House Bill 2590 to rename the portion of the road that goes through the band's hometown, the Maines Brothers Band Highway. And Texas Tech taking its centennial celebration on the road with a big one down in Austin on Tuesday night. This is the first of 5 celebrations planned outside of Lubbock, celebrating 100 years. It was followed by Texas Tech Day at the Capitol on Wednesday. University leaders advocating for more funding and showing lawmakers how the university is growing and providing excellent opportunities for students. Here's a clip from what happened on the House floor that morning.
Please help me welcome Texas Tech University to the Capitol and congratulate them on their 100th university. Long live the Matadors and guns up.
It is good to see so much red and black in the gallery today. When Tech comes to Austin, we usually win. But sometimes we have to fight a little bit harder. And so I always tell this story when every 2 years Texas Tech comes and we honor you. 100 years ago, over 100 years ago now, there was a bill establishing a college in West Texas. It was vetoed by then Governor Neff, saying there was not adequate funding for it. We threatened to secede from the rest of the state. That is what it took to finally get Texas Tech established in Lubbock, Texas, which I'm very proud of.
It was a whole day affair at the Capitol with Raider Red, university leaders, state leaders, and of course, Red Raider alumni. Well, someone who was at the state capitol this week for Texas Tech Day, and I don't believe this was your first time at Texas Tech Day. This is Jim Douglas with the Alumni Association. Talk with me a little bit about this week. This is a big week.
It's been a huge week, Jen, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Of course.
Yeah, we had yesterday, yesterday, Wednesday, or what's today? Wednesday,
yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I got my COVID calendar in my brain going
Yeah,
crazy.
you're good.
Yesterday was a full day, a long day, but a very successful day for Texas Tech and the Texas State Legislature. And it is Texas Tech Day. We have one every session, so every other year we have a session. 2021, we did not have one because of COVID, and the entire state capitol was shut down. This is the first time we've done this for the last 4 years. But this is something we do every session. This year was special for lots of reasons, but one is that the centennial, the university centennial, happens to be this year as well. So that was a lot of the flavor and the theme of the things that we did and the gifts that we gave and the presentations that we made. And so it was a very busy, full day, but a highly successful one.
Yeah, and I love the gifts that you bring up, the gifts, because these are, of course, they're lovely gifts that you give to people in the Capitol. There's something really cool and personal about these gifts that y'all gave out.
Well, we take that opportunity very personally. And every university and college in the state has a day down there, most of them. And every occupation, realtors, insurance, they all have their day at the legislature, and they all bring gifts. And we were trying to get above the koozie and keychain kind of level and make it a little bit more special. There are requirements as to how much you can spend per gift.
Wow.
Legislators can't just, we can't roll a car in there, nor would we want to. But anyway, so we take gifts down there, and they're Texas Tech themed. And so what we did this year, put together a very attractive box that had West Texas wine
Okay.
that was packaged as part of the Texas Tech theme, and then also some great meats from Red to Red Meats on
Yeah.
campus from the meat program at Tech.
That's cool.
And so we take those, and of course the legislators love those gifts. And then for their staff, because usually the legislator gets the gift,
Yeah.
and the staff gets nothing, and they're the ones who do all the work.
Yeah.
And so we took for them as well some various flavored jerky.
Oh, great.
Beef jerky, and so
Yeah.
we gave a gift for them for that. And again, it's all packaged, but also what we did, and we've been doing this for several sessions, is that on the packaging, it's very personalized for each legislator. So on there, we tell them exactly how many Red Raiders, and we define that as students, parents, alumni, donors, whoever, how many Red Raider people there are living in their district,
Yeah.
because these are voters.
Yeah.
And usually it's an impressive number, and usually they're wowed by the fact that they may live 500 miles from here, but they've got a lot of constituents who care what's happening at Texas Tech.
Which
and
means
this is
they
just a
need to
nice little
care.
reminder.
Yeah. They need to care if their
That's
constituents
right.
care.
Well, usually they see that number and they care more now than they thought they did.
Yeah, that's a really
so
good
that's part of
strategy.
the package, and it's been great.
Yeah.
And it's just been a really successful deal.
It's a great idea, and I love that Red Raider Nation, I mean, it touches all corners of the earth, for
Yes,
sure.
it does.
So let's talk a little bit about messaging, because I know that it's all fun and games, but there are some really important things that happen.
Well, it's serious business. And the thing that we try and be careful is to be sure that our volunteers, when we go door to door in the Capitol on Wednesday, bringing these gifts and having conversations with staff members as well as legislators, want to make sure that they get the message that is meant to be delivered.
Okay.
And so we try and coach them to be careful that you stick to the basics. And that is, our main message is we're advocating for adequate funding for higher education. Now that covers all colleges and universities, but with formula funding such as it is, that's pretty much governs the amount of money most universities or colleges are going to get. So we want them to stick to the message. We want adequate funding for higher education. And by the way, we're here from Texas Tech, and we're loud and we're proud. And you have a lot of your constituents back home that care about how you vote.
Yeah.
And if we can stick to that message, we feel like we're doing our job in representing the university and also getting good results from it.
Yeah, and it seems like it was a successful trip. We had lawmakers guns upping on the floor. So
Absolutely.
that's a great
Absolutely.
a
Got to be
great
careful
trip.
when you're in the legislature about saying guns up.
Yeah.
But they all understand who we are and where we're from.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to be. Thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for the time. Appreciate it very much.
Well, two contrasting property tax relief bills have been filed in the Texas House and Senate. What do the proposals mean, and which one is better?